How is everybody doing? I'm going to put this baby out on Twitter. I have a short scope tonight. Q hasn't really been posting much, so we're not doing that. So, a lot of interesting news going on today. Interesting news going on. And I'm seeing that some people are ready to quit. I was looking at my news, my timeline on Twitter. And somebody, when I posted this thing about, I think it was McMaster or something. And McMaster is out and Bolton is in. What's that?
Don't you want that light turned off?
No.
Oh.
Someone said, I'm done. We're not going to get the wall. The neocons win. Is Bolton better than McMaster? I'm done. I'm quitting. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. You can quit. You can give in. You can think that the neocons won. You can think that the swamp won. That's fine. Do whatever you want. Look, if you've been following me for any time at all, why is Q posting all this information weeks ahead of time? Why did Q tell us on March 10th, 11 days ago, when Gary Cohn stepped down from Trump's team, and that one Anand said, I'm glad Cohn is gone, I don't trust his globalist ass. Why did Q say, more coming, more resignations, more people leaving, more shakeups in Trump's cabinet? Why did Q tell us that? So that when his attorney steps down and when McMaster steps down and all these other people step down, we're not shocked. We're not surprised. Q has been telling us over and over again, trust the plan. There is a plan. Trump has a plan. He is not willy-nilly going about this stuff.
Are you looking at the chat?
I am looking at the
Good.
chat. Right, so you don't freak out, right? That is what Q is doing. Q is telling us weeks ahead of time what's happening, right? Trump told us, like Sunday, I've been getting to know people over the last year. I almost have my cabinet the way I want it to be. I'm getting close to the cabinet I want to have. What does that tell you? He's not there yet. There's still more people that have to go. Leakers. All right? Trump has been leak testing his cabinet. Putting out information to find out who's leaking. If you're a leaker, you're out of here. Bye-bye. Adios. So, I'm dumbfounded at people giving up, quitting, throwing in the towel. It's like, people, are you serious? Is that where your mind is at? I guarantee you there's more people leaving. In the next week or so, wait. There's more people that are going to be out. Because Trump is, Q said, Trump administration version 2. Trump has been in office for a year. He's figured out the lay of the land. He's figured out who the leakers are, who he can trust, who he can't trust. He's getting rid of the people that he can't trust, and he's putting people in there that are going to help him achieve his goals. He got rid of Tillerson because Tillerson was going to sabotage his negotiations with Iran. So Tillerson, out. Because Trump's next thing on his big agenda is Iran. And Pompeo and Trump, Vulcan mind meld. They're on the same track. So these changes are necessary so that the president can get the people in, right people in. Look, he's got a lot of stuff he's got to accomplish. You can't accomplish those goals if you don't have the right people. So he is getting rid of people. And he's putting the right people in place. And look, I don't know a whole lot about Bolton. People say he's a neocon. He's, whatever. Look, I'll tell you this about Bolton. Think strategically. A lot of people were concerned because McMaster had been heavily influenced by Obama. And Trump, in McMaster leaving, Trump is bringing in somebody as Director of National Intelligence who is going to be on the same page with what he's trying to accomplish. And, might I add, he is going into some strategic talks with Russia and Iran that require a certain type of personality. So when he was dealing with China and North Korea and the Middle East, he needed a certain type of person. Now he's got a different agenda. He's got different things he needs to accomplish. He needs somebody who's a bit more hawkish. That's what it is. Trump needs someone who is more hawkish, who is a little bit more aggressive and has a little bit harder edge toward Russia. Not because we're trying to start a war with Russia. We're not going to start a war with Russia. But Trump is going to have to negotiate strategic things with UK, France, Europe, and Russia. And Trump has identified Bolton as probably the best person to put a face on what he's trying to accomplish. If Europe is afraid of Bolton, that's a good thing. If Putin is afraid of Bolton, that's a good thing. Because Trump needs to create leverage. He is trying to create leverage, and he's trying to put a face on his foreign policy and his intelligence community that says we're not screwing around. And Bolton is not going to screw around. So I believe Bolton being put in there is a strategic move to put a face on this next phase of Trump's administration that is going to put the fear of God in Russia. That is what Trump wants. Trump wants peace, but he tweeted today, peace through strength. He is trying to build a cabinet that portrays strength and iron resolve, and we're not going to be back down, and we're not a bunch of soft little weenie boys, little soy boys who can be pushed around. Trump is trying to build a cabinet that conveys strength. People are afraid of Pompeo. They're afraid of Bolton. What does that tell you if Trump is bringing on people like Pompeo and Bolton that the leftists are afraid of and that Europe is afraid of? Trump is building a really mean-looking, bad machine that people are not going to want to screw around with because he's going up against Russia next. And he's going to have to get Russia into a headlock in his negotiations. To get peace with Iran and Syria and Russia, he's going to have to create this really ominous presence in the White House. And he felt like McMaster couldn't do that. And he felt like Tillerson wouldn't do that. Trump is making strategic plans, and Q has already warned us about it. There's no reason to freak out about it. Trump is moving the chess pieces. He's getting people in place. He's got a plan, right? And as far as the budget goes, Trump has already said, you know what? The budget kind of sucks, but I'm going to get out of the budget what I need. Trump knows what he needs. He knows what his top priorities are, and he's going to get what he needs.
Okay, somebody asked this, and we probably should address it. Did Rex Tillerson meet with Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, did Rex Tillerson meet with Mark Zuckerberg?
RT.
So if you're looking at Q's post from a couple days ago, there is a Zuckerberg RT, and then +8 in a room, no cell phones, that thing. All right. If you look back at Q's posts from the last couple of months, Q has often used the initials RT. Most of the time, it refers to real time, not Rex Tillerson. The first time that RT meant Rex Tillerson was when Rex was in South Africa. And he was on his little trip down there. And then Q said RT days afterward, being fired, coincidence. That's the only time RT has ever referred to Rex Tillerson. It's always in the past, usually referred to real time. Like he was showing us images and things that are happening real time. So no, I don't think Rex Tillerson met with Zuckerberg. I think he was telling us in real time they were observing Zuckerberg and the people from Congress who met with Zuckerberg to cut some deal where they're, like Facebook and Twitter are in trouble. And Q said they're in panic mode, right? So I don't think it had anything to do with Rex Tillerson. I think it had to do with, this is real time.
Some people are naming Rivsy Tech.
Rivsy Tech?
Yeah, as someone who's heavily invested in Facebook, so that's possible too.
Could be. I don't think it's Rex Tillerson. Something else.
But either way, it's not Rex Tillerson.
Yeah, the takeaway message there is that Zuckerberg met with people from Congress. They are trying to create some kind of narrative and some deal where they can save their butts.
Rivsy Traverse.
Rivsy
People are spelling
Traverse,
it all differently, so I don't know.
We're going to find out what RT is, but I think it's real time. That's my
And
understanding.
Zuckerberg just selling off his stock, and what's her name too?
Yeah.
Sandberg
And Zuckerberg been selling off a lot of stock lately.
They're
Facebook,
kind of in trouble, right?
They're in trouble. They're in trouble. They know. Well, look, Q told us. Q told us back 3 weeks ago that regulation is coming to Facebook and Twitter, to social media. One of the Anons asked, are we ever going to have true free speech on these so-called private platforms? And Q said, 100%. It'll be regulated. Watch. They know, Zuckerberg, Dorsey, they know it's coming. Look at divestitures. Look at their sales of stock. Watch what they're doing. They know it's coming. He told us that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now we've been seeing the insiders selling their stock. And today, the COO of Facebook said, yes, we're open to regulation. Why? Because they got caught. They got caught, and it goes way beyond data mining. It's much worse than that. They got caught, and they know darn well that their platforms are going to be regulated because they are manipulating algorithms. They're really engaged in psychological warfare. And they're going to be regulated like utilities. And they know it. It's coming. That's why they're bailing out and they're dumping their stock. So I look at the fact that Q has been telling us this stuff for weeks, and people are still freaking out about it. They still don't get it. It's like, look, just go back and look at what Q has told us, and you'll see it like, wow, he told us this is going to happen. It's all happening. He warned us. So there is no reason to panic or freak out. Is the omnibus bill going to be the bill that everybody wants? No, it's not. What does that tell you? We still have a swamp in D.C. that has to be drained. We still have senators and representatives that need to get yanked out of there. We need to replace them. What has Trump been telling us for 6 months? We need more true conservatives in Congress. He's been telling us that because he knows what he's up against when it comes to Congress. You know, getting MAGA in the White House was relatively easy. Getting MAGA in Congress is going to be a much bigger job. That is what we have to do. We have to get rid of these neocons and get rid of these Democrats and put in people like Kelly Ward who are going to really back the president on all of his issues, the wall and everything else. And look, don't worry about the wall. You know, Trump is going to get that wall built. Do not worry about it. Rest easy. Trump is going to get that wall built. He will. He knows how to get what he needs. You know, the interesting thing about the Dems that are running for Congress, a lot of them are former CIA or military intelligence. There's a lot of spooks running for Congress this year. That's concerning because if the deep state is getting pulled out by the roots from the State Department and the FBI, now the deep state is just running spooks for Congress. And I'm going to be open about it. Hey, former CIA operative, going to be running in your district. Yes. We need to take this thing seriously. And Trump is not going to be impeached. They're desperate. Look, the Swamp's only plan right now is to try to get enough people in Congress so they can impeach Trump. It ain't going to happen. They've called for like 3 or 4 impeachment votes, and they get like 25 or 35 out of the over 500 representatives. They get a handful of people. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be impeached. He hasn't done anything wrong, and there's no one that's going to vote for impeaching Trump. I also do not think you have to worry about Mueller. I don't particularly do the Mueller is a black hat, Mueller is a white hat thing. It doesn't matter to me. Trump got rid of his top legal advisor and hired Joe DeGeneva. And that was a good switch. Trump knows what he wants to do. His legal team was not working with him. So you know what? His top legal advisor steps down and Joe takes over. And you know, the mainstream media is going to say, oh, Trump's White House is in chaos. Nothing's going well. And that's fine. They can think that. Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He's making all the moves he needs to move. He's getting rid of people who are not working with him, and he is recruiting people to his team who are going to help him accomplish what he needs to accomplish. So, you know.
And the media is just going to keep yelling that Trump's White House is in chaos. No, Trump's White House is usually where Trump wants it to be.
Yep. They will say Trump's White House is in chaos. And
well, that's what they want you to
Trump
believe.
has been smiling for the last couple of weeks. When he did that interview on Sunday outside of the Marine One, he was smiling. He was like, you know, I almost got my cabinet where I want it right now. I've been looking at people, analyzing everyone. I'm getting to know everyone. I'm getting rid of the people I don't want, and I'm putting people in that I do want. Trump is happy. Trust me. I have not seen Trump this happy in a long time. I see a lot of optimism in him, and that gives me optimism. He doesn't look frustrated to me. So I'm not worried about it. He has this. He totally got it. Looking at comments here. What does boom, boom, boom mean? What does boom normally mean in the context of what Q puts out? There's big news
Something
coming.
happening.
All right, what big news is coming? There's been a lot of big news. There's been a lot of big news this week. You know, people in Zuckerberg and the Facebook scandal, one big boom. Twitter's chief intellectual property guy stepped down. He's leaving. There's a lot of things that are going on. Those booms are referring to big news, and it has nothing to do with the Austin bombings. Q did post that the FBI opened a case, but Q's like, hey, you know what? We know what's going on. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We're in control. McCabe was one of the booms, correct? Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, big news going on. McMaster is a big, bald crybaby. Well, that might be true. I don't know. All right. Yeah, the China tariff. Look. The thing with the tariffs against China, Trump is playing hardball. Trump knows we have been getting screwed by China for years. He's not taking it anymore. They've been ripping us off on intellectual property rights. They've been ripping us off left and right. Obama and the Bushes let it happen, and Trump is telling them no more. It's over. We're not playing your game anymore. So, did the stock market take a big dump today, lose 700 points? Yes, it did. You know, investors are worried because they don't know what's going on. Look, Trump is flipping the script and he's changing the rules, and people don't like it because they've been used to things happening a certain way. And Trump is a disruptive force in the markets. He is not going to allow the situation to continue the way it has been. Dead cat bounce, baby. That is correct. Yeah. So, it's good. I think the UK is going to come around. I posted an article on Twitter this morning that Theresa May is warning Europe, other European leaders, that Putin is a danger to them because of the use of this nerve agent in the UK. All right, Macron, same thing. Yesterday went and sided with Trump, and he is holding Putin accountable for the nerve agent. Okay? And I wrote about this in a recent article. Trump is rallying his allies in NATO to hold Putin accountable for what he's doing with Syria, with Iran, and with what he's doing in his own country. Trump is rallying European leaders, and he's going to create this coalition, and he's going to confront Putin, and that is how he's going to get peace. He's going to hold Putin accountable, and it's what he did in China with China and North Korea. He held China accountable for their bad behavior and North Korea's bad behavior. When you hold somebody accountable for bad behavior and you make it difficult for them, they will either continue the bad behavior and risk the consequences, or they'll stop the bad behavior. And Trump is trying to get Putin into a position where continuing the bad behavior is more painful than stopping it. So watch Trump create this coalition with European leaders and some other people, probably Poland, Czech Republic. He's got people, Italy. All right, Italy just had elections. Trump is going to recruit leaders from Europe to have a showdown with Putin. And it's peace through strength. He's going to create this front, and Putin is not going to be able to continue doing what he's doing. They'll either do economic sanctions against Russia, or they will. It's just going to get very uncomfortable for old Vlad. So watch what happens. There is a plan, and it's being worked out.
You got to be careful because there are Q posers, so you'd have to sure.
There are getting more fake Q posts out there too, just to be aware. I'm seeing a lot of fake Q posts on Twitter. There's an 8chan site now that it's not Q, it's H, and somebody asked me who is H. Just some poser. Since Q is becoming more popular and more well known, they initially tried to shut Q down by bombing and his boards on 8chan and 4chan. That didn't work. Q just became more popular. So now they're going to try to obfuscate and confuse people with fake Q channels, fake Q posts on Twitter. So you just need to be kind of careful if you're following Q, that you don't go running down some rabbit trails of stuff that's not legit. Just stay with the original Q stuff. And I would advise not getting too interested in all these other people that are posting about Q and looks like Q and it sounds like Q, but it's not Q. Be careful. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. It's going to get worse. Las Vegas hotel video. Yes. We are going to be learning more about the Las Vegas shooting, aren't we? The hotel video got leaked. So there's going to be more video coming out being leaked.
Our friend Todd Villa is on.
Todd's on. Hey, Todd. What's up, buddy?
I missed his comment. Something about Putin.
No, I don't do conspiracy theories. But when the FBI comes out and they haven't done any investigation and there's still people being transported to the hospital, and the FBI comes out and says there's absolutely no evidence that this was related to a terrorist group, and they haven't even investigated it yet, to me that smells of cover-up. That tells me the FBI came in and they were told, make sure you make a public statement that this was not related to terrorism. And to me, as soon as they said that, and then No information, no videos, they're hiding something. And I'm not saying I'm into conspiracy theories, but they're hiding something. If they had nothing to hide, all that stuff would be made available. But they're hiding something. They're covering something up. I don't know what it is. And look, the Las Vegas shooting happened. It's not really my big issue. I really don't dig into that stuff. I'm not doing research on it, other than to say the story we've been told is not the truth. I don't know what the truth is, but I know it's not what they told us. So that's as far as I'm going on that.
And even this bomber deal, this Austin bomber.
The Austin bomber thing.
You know, I've read some things that say he blew himself up, other things say police shot him, and we're just supposed to, like, believe everything they tell us. And I just don't.
Midnight Ride 20 on Twitter was putting out information on the Austin bomber days before the bombs went off. He was getting information about the people that were behind it. It wasn't just one person. So you can go hassle Midnight Ride 20 and ask for more information if you're interested on Twitter.
Chad said question everything, and I fully agree with
question
that.
Everything. Yep.
At this point.
Yep. I don't know if it was CIA. It's looking more like there was some Antifa or some MS-13 involvement in the Texas bombings, possibly. That would be my suspicion. And ultimately, they're all working for the clowns. They're just useful idiots.
Somebody said Q knew about the bomber prior. I don't think so.
Oh, let me talk about Hillary and the bracelet. All right, might as well address this. Q has told us for a long time, just because you don't see something happening, it doesn't mean it's not happening. And a lot of people nowadays are relying on their own eyes, their own perception. They're looking at the news, they're looking at CNN and Fox and Washington Post and New York Times, and they're saying, I don't see any news stories about Hillary being arrested. She couldn't have been arrested, because if she was arrested, we would hear about it in the news. And Q has told us this stuff that is going to happen, you're not going to hear about it in the news. That is why Q is posting. Because if somebody goes in front of a military judge, does it go on CNN? No. So how do you know it happened? You don't know it happened unless you trust. You trust a source who has been right in the past. So if you think you can look at camera angles and look at Hillary's ankles and say, I don't see any ankle bracelets on there. She couldn't have been arrested. She's going to India. She's going here and there. She couldn't have been arrested. Okay, that's fine. You can believe that if you want. You can believe that. In normal situations, for most people, if they get arrested, you know about it. It's in the newspaper. They go in front of a judge. You have an arraignment, post bail. It's all made public, right? For most people. Q has been telling us that there are Cankle monitor. The Cankle monitor. Q has been telling us, look, there are people that are going to Gitmo. There are people that are going in front of judges, and you're never going to hear about it. I'll just tell you this. There are people that are going to go to prison, and you're never going to know about it. You're never going to know about it because the deep state doesn't want you to know about it. Those people's social media accounts will be taken over by clowns. Hang on, I gotta plug my phone in.
Jules, she chewed it off her wrist.
She gnawed her wrist monitor off.
Hence the
Some of those people will be dead or in prison, never to be heard from again, and you'll still see activity on their social media accounts. Why? Because that is how the deep state works. The deep state is not going to want you to know that these people are gone. and or Trump's people may not want you to know that they're gone. So you will still see activity on their social media accounts, and they can be gone, in jail, in prison, or dead. And they're going to slowly and quietly go into nothingness on social media. So, look, if you do not understand that there's psychological warfare involved in all of this, there is psychological warfare.
Absolutely.
There is a lot of psychological warfare. There's a lot of 3D chess going on. And just because, look, the Bible says, do not lean on your own understanding. Commit your ways to God, and He will direct your steps. And in this particular arena, you cannot lean on your own understanding. If you rely on what you see going on, Fox News, CNN, New York Times, and everybody else, you are going to be wrong. You're going to be deceived. You're not going to see what's happening. You're going to be freaked out and completely, they're just gaslighting you.
Yeah, when you watch the news, you have to realize they are paid to
It's
go
theater.
after Trump and make him
They
look
are
bad.
actors. Do you not get it? These news reporters are actors. They're fed a script that is written by the deep state. They're not telling you the truth. You cannot rely on these people. Even people on Fox News. They're being given a script. It is
They're only allowed to say so
BS.
much.
And they're only allowed to say so much.
I mean, I think Fox goes farther than others on Trump's side, but they're still only allowed. I mean, they're still run by Democrats.
That is why
The
Trump.
boss.
That is why Trump has authorized Q to go on 8chan and drop all this information. Because Q is telling us stuff that the mainstream media is never going to report on. We're getting information straight from the White House through Q. And I know a lot of you haven't had the kind of dreams that I've had about Q and all that other stuff. You haven't researched Q like I have. And I know for some of you it's hard to believe in Q. I'm just telling you, I have not found Q to be wrong on much of anything, especially in the last 2 weeks with Q telling us about the changes in the administration and what's going on with Facebook and Zuckerberg. He's right on all of it, and he told it to us days in advance. So Q's, in my book, Q's accuracy is going up. And I'm just like...
Somebody said, that's what I like about Q.
It's what I like about Q.
Yeah.
You hold me tight. Yes. Thank you very much. Future proves past. Boom, baby. So, don't get stressed out. Don't get freaked out. It's all good. How many times has Q got to tell you, Trump is in control. Trust the plan. Don't trust what you're seeing on Twitter or anybody else. Trust the plan. It's going to be glorious. 2018 is going to be glorious. Don't stress out. I'm starting to talk like Q. I post like Q now. I'm going to get me some nice Q shirts with Q on the pocket over here, a little logo. So, talk to people about Q.
I'm not worried.
She's not worried.
Not worried.
And if she's not worried, you should not be worried.
Because I can worry about a lot of stuff. I can easily worry about a lot of stuff.
She can be a nervous Nelly over there. And she's not worried. She knows Trump has got this. He's in control. So it's all good.
And are you putting this on YouTube? Somebody said put this on YouTube.
I'll upload this to YouTube. Yeah, I will. Good call. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Love y'all. Take care. I will catch you on the next Q broadcast.